home, let us make the pizza dough first. 1. Add lukewarm water to a warm bowl. If you live in a very cold place, just warm up your bowl for proofing yeast. Make sure the water is just warm. An ideal temperature of water is 40 to 43 C. Just dip your finger in the water to check if it is just warm. Hot water will kill the yeast and cannot be used further. 2. Add yeast to the warm water. 3. Sprinkle sugar. 4. Stir it gently. Allow this to rest undisturbed for 10 to 12 minutes. The mixture must turn frothy and bubbly. If you fail to get a frothy mixture, do not proceed further with this yeast. It is inactive, so discard this and start with fresh warm water, yeast and sugar. Repeat the steps from 1 to 4. 5. When the yeast turns frothy, add flour. Here I have used organic, unbleached all-purpose flour. If you do not get organic one, just replace with whole wheat flour and make a thin crust pizza. It will turn out good. You can also use half whole wheat flour and half maida. 6. Add olive and salt. 7. Mix to make dough. Add more water and knead the dough for 5 to 7 minutes. The dough must turn very soft and elastic. When you poke your finger gently, the dough must be bounced back. This will happen only if you use all-purpose flour. 4. After you will have to knead for longer, about 9 minutes. 8. Make a bell. Apply a thin of oil to prevent the dough drying up. 9. Cover with a moist cloth. Rest in a warm place until the dough doubles in size. If your oven has a setting for rising the dough, then you can use that as well. Depending on the temperature, the dough may take anywhere from 1 to 2 hours, but still I advise not to go by timings but to double it in size. 10. Meanwhile, make pizza sauce following the video mentioned above or from the recipe card, then keep the veggies ready. Grate the cheese. 11. Dough has doubled in just 45 minutes for me. I made one pizza that day and refrigerated the rest for the next day. Just wrapped it in a cling wrap and put it in the fridge. The flavor of the yeast dough gets much better as it ages in the fridge. This keeps good for 2 days. If refrigerating, then allow it to come down to room temperature before using. I allowed to rest for 90 minutes. When you see the dough is ready, preheat the oven to 220 to 240 C for at least 20 to 25 minutes. If you have a pizza stone, heat that in the oven. 12. Transfer dough to the work area and punch down the dough to deflate. To check the video above to know the exact process on how to do the further steps, divide the dough to 2 to 3 parts depending on the size you prefer. I made one 9-inch thin crust and then 2 6-inch thick pizzas. Making thin crust pizza base. Sprinkle some cornmeal evenly on a tray. Flatten a ball and add few drops of oil. Begin to spread. Stretch the dough and flatten to a 9-inch thin even base. 13. Spread pizza sauce as desired. For the pizza sauce, please follow the recipe card or video. 14. Layer cheese, then veggies of your choice. We prefer bell peppers, onions and olives. You can also use cauliflowers, mushrooms and firm ripe de-seeded tomatoes. Sprinkle Italian herbs and chili flakes if you desire. 15. Bake it for 8 tp 10 minutes a unit. The cheese turns golden. Making thick pizza base. I also made 2 6-inch thick personal pizzas. If making thick pizza base, then I stretch the dough and bake it for 5 to 7 minutes first, then smear the sauce and Layer the toppings. Bake this for about 8 to 10 minutes. If your cheese doesn't get golden, you can move it to the top rack and bake for another 2 to 3 minutes. Cut and slice the pizza. Serve hot and warm.